And let's look at the factors that are tearing families apart before we move into the factors that can help bring families together. Let's take you to our magic wall right now and look at what we have. Some of the factors that are tearing families apart: hurtful words, stress, marriage breakdown, which we saw earlier on in our global intro. Let's see if we can move on. And then we have well, let's see, it skipped it a little bit. Now we've gone to factors that bring a family together. But if we can go back to the ones that tear families apart, we also have financial strain, too much television, lack of quality time, lack of quantity time, involvement and appreciation of each other or lack of family get-togethers such as meal times, failure to respect the other person's views, internet and telephone taking over physical interaction. This is just a list. I'm just going to take a seat now. This is just a list of some of the issues that continue to tear families apart. And like I said, in our studio, we have Susan, Elisha, and Alan Njoroge. They're a family who are just going to take us through their own, their own views on how they've managed to navigate some murky waters to stay together. And Ken Aringo, who is a counselor and a family therapist. I don't know whether we can bring up some of the questions right now on Twitter before let's see if we have any of those. Some of you have already started asking us questions. So on Twitter, we have at Waringa Rehab says, sibling rivalry culminated by how our parents raised us up with hate and enmity towards each other. How can that be solved? Okay, so we'll keep that in mind and throw that to our panel. At Lydia_Nekesa says, many families don't spend time together, hence causing a rift. What can such families do to save their bond? That's great, and we'll go into that a bit later. Okay, so I'd love to hear your views, especially on the one for sibling rivalry. Before we even go there, maybe Mrs. or Mr. Njoroge, you can tell us a little bit about how you feel you've managed to stay together as a family. You've raised 4 children, you have a grandchild, you've been married 29 years. And so obviously, even though no family is perfect, none of us is admitting that we are, you must be doing something right. And so we want to hear that. Maybe we can start with you.
Well, as you said, you rightfully said, every family is unique. And for that purpose, and you find that if there is communication, regardless of what happens, that is the direction.
So communication is key.
Yes.
Would you agree?
I agree with that.
Okay, communication.
Makes all the difference.
It does.
Yeah.
Elisha, as their son, what would you say, having grown up and been raised by them, what would you say has managed to keep your family together?
I think it's, as I said, communication together with, I think, prayer.
Okay. As you laugh. Prayer. You now realize that it helps. You pray as a family?
Yes, we do.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so let me ask you, Mr. Aringo, you've dealt with troubled families. You deal with them almost on a daily basis. We've seen some of the reasons that families are torn apart. In Kenya, and with the people you deal with, what are some of the main reasons that people come to you with saying, my family is falling apart because of ABCD?
I think, Janet, just seeing at what we've already seen, the factors that tear down families, I couldn't agree with more. If there could be 10 more, you missed out. But one thing that keeps coming back again and again is selfishness.
Oh, okay.
Marriage is about communion. People, two histories coming together. Mom, dad, and then by the grace of God, children come on. And one thing that I keep hearing is a wife who says, I've been with you 3 years in this marriage. I keep putting back my dream so that you can advance yours, hoping that one day also when I ask you to revenge, if you don't mind, or rather take the heat so that I'm also able to move on, you refuse. For example, someone says, I went to campus, I left you do up to masters, I stayed with my degree for 10 years. When I asked you now to allow me to go to class, you wanted to finish your PhD. And I've been here 10 years waiting for you.
Okay.
Selfishness.
So selfishness. Can I throw that back to you, Mr. and Mrs. Njoroge? Whether that's something that you struggled with, perhaps about feeling like, how come I can't move on with my dreams? Over you, maybe any one of you can comment.
Okay, thank you. That is quite true. The selfishness affect a lot. But as we journey together with trying to communicate and being open and paying attention to his feelings, it made a lot of difference.
Okay.
And it's still making a difference.
All right.
Because there's that room for him to feel me and for him to feel me and me to feel him.
Okay.
Then it makes a lot of difference.
And it's compromise.
Yeah.
We read some of the issues that, tear families apart: financial strain, lack of quality time, lack of family sharing and common spirituality. We've listed some of them. Did any of them stand out to you and you thought, once upon a time, we struggled with that? And then how did you deal with it? If any one of them, any one of those notes that we listed, did any of them stand out to you and you thought, yeah, once upon a time we dealt with maybe lack of this and lack of that, and how you managed to overcome it? Anything that came to mind?
Yeah. As you were sharing, I remembered once, I think in our marriage after 14 years, we went through a very hard, difficult time where there was, where at that time retrenchment was rampant in the country. And our firstborn was going to Form 1. I think that is that's something I always remember. It was not easy, but with the good communication that time, it made all the difference. And also, as a couple, mentoring. We were mentored. Yeah, it made a lot of difference. We were mentored together. We were introduced to a particular program of, we call it Marriage Encounter, which made us meet and talk a lot together. We call it 10-10 sharing, every day before you sleep.
10-10 sharing.
Yeah,
How
10
does that
minutes.
work?
That is 10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes you
Yeah,
share. What
at
do you
least.
share? Anything?
Yeah, at the end of the day, you sit together. He shares
How
10
was your
minutes.
day?
How was your day?
What did you like? What did
Yeah.
you like?
Do you still do it today?
Yes.
10 minutes, 10 minutes.
10 minutes. And when the issues are hot, we give it 90. So that I can have room to air myself. And he can have room to make.
Okay.
I think that program, that empowerment and mentoring made a lot of difference in our life.
I think, Janet, what is happening, people are not empowered. When you go to a panel where you find people of the same age sharing out their experiences, how did they tackle such and such an issue, from there you learn. Now, if you stay at home, you go to the office, you go back home, you take the care of the children, the night is come, it's another day. Life is like that. There is nothing, there is no time you are going to gain some more knowledge.
Okay.
So how are you going to cope?
Okay.
You are definitely not going to be able to cope. At one time you are bound to break down.
So it's important to reach out, go for those seminars, go for those classes.
Yeah.
Most of them are in church.
Yeah.
You can find them in counseling,
Okay.
but you have to be able to be empowered.
Do you still empower yourselves with some of these programs?
Yes.
Okay. Never
we do.
ends. It never
No,
stops.
it doesn't end.
Okay.
It doesn't end.
Elisha, do you do anything to empower yourself with knowledge and information just based on what your parents do?
Well, I've learned a lot from my parents, and with regards to, sometimes it's never rosy, but all the same, I've learned a lot with them sharing, sometimes arguments, but at the end of the day, the arguments have to be settled.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just saw a message, a tweet about sibling rivalry.
Yes.
Is that something you can relate to? You have 3 siblings.
Yes.
Tell us if you had a moment where you felt like there was sibling rivalry and how you and your parents, or how your parents even helped deal with it.
Yes, I remember a time, a while back, we had a rivalry with my sister. But then again, I talked to my parents about it, and we all come to the table and put our problems and then unpack the problems and solve them. Yeah.
And is that something that you still do as a family? You come together, put your problems. I think that's what you mentioned to me earlier on.
Yeah.
You just make sure you sit, everything's put on the table, and it's resolved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
for example, if I don't like her doing this, I'll tell her, and we all agree that from now henceforth, this is the way we work. Yeah.
And you're close with your siblings?
Yes, I am.
Okay, because of that.
Yes.
Okay.
I was about to add, when he speaks, about that moment the rivalry was happening, I see a mistake some parents do, taking sides. You find that one parent is amiable to the daughter, and so you find that daddy's girl has issues she shares with daddy, and so the boy feels, Mom, come to my defense. By the time these guys are coming on the table, already they're hard in position. They are camps. So there's mommy's camp with the son, and daddy's camp with the daughter. So the information that is being unpacked here, they are dangerous cards under the table. And that is what brings families down.
Yeah.
That whenever we are very clear to our children that whatever you're going through between you, whatever sibling level it is, the two of us are reading from the same script. And when we sit on that table as a family, everything is said on top. Not when you finish and oh, daddy, Pole, mom is now telling the son. The guy feels empowered by mom more than dad. So next time the same issue surfaces.
And the
Because
same
there's stuff that
pattern.
is told that is not on the table.
Okay.
So don't take sides as parents. Read from the same script.
Okay, we have so much more to cover, but we're going to take a short break. Remember to keep sending in your questions and comments because we'll be able to tackle them on the panel. The SMS line is 22422. Leave your name and location or tweet us using the hashtag MondaySpecialKE. We'll be back with some of your views.